So here we are sitting down in the YouTube set. It's not complete. I definitely got a lot of work to do in here, but it's good enough now that we can start actually making some content. And I wanted to talk about a question I got in an M50 Facebook group. This person was asking about a specific lens. If you've seen the thumbnail, 24 to 105 f4, he was wanting to adapt it to his M50. I wanted to hear the group's thoughts on that. Me personally, I immediately began to sing its praises, that it was a fantastic lens. If you can get it for a great price, it's one of the best lenses you can adapt to your M50, yada, yada, yada. For the most part, people agreed with that. There were a couple of detractors that said he should skip it and this and that, and so he asked me for some examples. I sent him some photos, and he also wanted to know about videos. So here we go, my top 5 reasons why you should pick up the 24 to 105 L series lens. Let's talk about it. Okay, so here it is. This is the 24 to 105. Like I said, it is a kit lens. They give this out, or at least they used to, starting with like the 5D Mark II. I think you got this on the Mark II and Mark III. Okay, so before I go over my 5 reasons again, I just want to mention that you have to adapt this to the M50. This is not an EFM mount lens, it's EF. So to adapt that, you're gonna have to use either like a Comlight adapter or the official Canon adapter, or you can use a speed booster. I recommend using a speed booster for many reasons that we will get into. If you adapt it with a normal adapter, that definitely takes away a lot of the things that I'm going to say about this lens, but overall it's still a good lens, even just normally adapting it. But first off, let's talk about versatility. You are getting 24 to 105. That's a fantastic range. Now, if you're adapting it with the speed booster, once you take into consideration the 1.6 times crop you get with an APS-C size body, then you add back 0.71 for the speed booster, you're actually getting 27 to 119. So very close to full frame there. And again, 27 to 119 is a fantastic range. It's wide enough for me, on the photo side, it's wide enough for me to get landscapes and take architecture photos, things like that. And of course, going all the way into 19, I can get some nice street photography stuff. I can get some fantastic portraits with that, and even some wildlife shots. 119 is pretty telephoto, so you can get some really good stuff in there. And when I take this out for photography, when I'm shooting on the M50, that is the lens I take. I take the 24 to 105, and usually I don't need anything else. Of course, with the speed booster, I can stop down to 2.8, so I get a little more light let in. I get a little creamier bokeh in my background, so I can blur the background a little bit more. But yeah, when I take out the M50, when I do photo gigs, or if I'm just taking around, if I take the 24 to 105, it's usually the only lens I need. So number one, definitely the versatility is definitely there. Going on to the second reason, and the second reason is the continuous aperture. You got 24 to 105, but it's f4 all the way through. The other lens that I had, and a lot of other kit lenses, have a variable aperture, which means that they might start out faster at f4 or f3.5, but by the time you zoom them all the way in, you're looking at an f6.3 or even 7.1. What that means, the higher the number, the smaller I believe the iris, it's called, the smaller whatever that hole closes up, and it lets in less light. And the less light you get in, of course, it's going to darken your image. That's not a great lens to use if you're shooting in low light conditions, shooting after sundown in a dark room, things like that. So you want to have a lens with a continuous aperture if you can, because it doesn't matter. Again, adapting this with the speed booster, I get f2 from 27 all the way to 119, so it doesn't matter if I want to get wide shots, if I want to get tight shots. I can keep that aperture at 2.8 and make sure I'm getting a lot of light let in, and getting that bokeh and things like that. So number 2, again, continuous aperture all the way. Okay, so third reason on the list, we gotta talk about build quality. This is a lens in Canon's L series or luxury line, and because of that, this is actually a pretty hefty lens. It's not super heavy, but the feel of it, everything feels nice and tight when you shake it around, unlike that other lens that I just shook a moment ago. Everything's packed in here nice and tight, and everything seems to be built very solidly. It's also weather sealed, so if you pair this with a weather sealed camera like the Canon 90D, I can take it out in the rain, I can take it out in more extreme weather and not have to worry about things getting in my sensor. The M50 is actually pretty good in adverse weather. I've taken it out in light rain, light snow, and things like that, and even though I was a little worried, you know, I put my fears to rest. I used to beat the heck out of my T5i back in the day, so that being said, I would recommend you not do that. But if you had to get out for a little bit, or, you know, in some light weather conditions, this lens will serve you well. You won't have to worry about anything getting in the lens as much as you would with other lenses. Again, paired with a weather seal camera, this thing's a beast. Again, this used to come with the 5D Mark II and Mark III, and it was a fantastic lens for those cameras. And so, yeah, if you're looking for a nice, sturdy, well-built lens, definitely this is one of the cheaper lenses that you can get with those features. Also, in addition, talking about the build quality, this lens is image stabilized. So you got the little stabilization there on the side, and the stabilization works pretty good. I would say that I have fairly smooth hands. It's not super shaky. I don't drink coffee or anything like that, so I don't jitter as much. But like I said, using this if I'm out vlogging or if just taking photos, especially if I'm zooming in and getting telephoto with it on the farther side of that focal range, you know, I can definitely rely on the stabilization to smooth things out, and I don't have issues with motion blur as long as I'm shooting above like, you know, a shutter speed of like 60. You know, the image stabilization in a lens like this with all the other features you're getting, that's fantastic, because there's a lot of lenses out there, especially a lot of these L series lenses that don't have stabilization, and that's a problem for me, especially if I'm out trying to film or out trying to shoot, you know, trying to shoot some photos. The image stabilization definitely comes in clutch, considering also that the M50 itself doesn't have in-body stabilization. It has a digital stabilization that works okay, but when you pair it with this image stabilized lens, then I mean, you are straight up in the game. So build quality overall, 5 out of 5. It's a fantastic lens. Okay, fourth up, we got to talk about image quality. And yes, it's not going to match like, say, RF glass or Sigma art glass or anything like that. Again, this is a Canon L series lens, but it's definitely on the lower side of their L series lenses. It still produces a good image though. I took this out on a YouTube video that I shot on the other channel. I was having a B-roll battle with a friend of mine. I lost, but I definitely got some good shots. I used the M50 24-105 combo in large parts of that video. I shoot with this all the time on videos on my other channel, and people really, I mean, they don't notice the difference. They just think the image looks good. So again, it's not going to be as sharp as some of your high-end lenses, but it's definitely sharper than all the other kit lenses that I've tested out there. You get some really good image quality, you know, right out the barrel. I mean, you can tweak it, you know, if you're a good colorist, you know, you can do some touching up in post, but me just straight out of camera, it's a great lens. I've got some, if you zoom in, if you're a pixel peeper, you might notice like softness in the corners and things like that, but wherever you're focused at, center of the frame, you know, the picture's gonna look fantastic. Again, I shoot everything from landscapes to portraits to wildlife with this lens, and I've never had an issue with the image. So definitely for the price, you get a fantastic image coming out of this lens. Okay, and last up on the list is the price. Again, this is a fairly cheap lens, with it coming in about $500 on the high end, and I've seen these go on eBay for as low as like $250, $300. I got this one for $297 because it had a little chip in the top that you can barely notice, but yeah, $297. Everything else optically was fine, so I mean, I got that for a steal. And again, even at the $500 range, you think like that's a lot of focal lengths covered. You got your 24 covered, your 35, your 50, your 85, your 100 mil. You got a lot of focal ranges covered, and again with the M50 you're getting all of those at f2. So think about, you know, grabbing all those different focal lengths at f2 or f2.8 rather, sorry. And I mean, yeah, you're definitely getting your money's worth. I'll put links, affiliate links in the description so you can find that. Make sure you get the used one. Don't buy it new, but definitely look for the pre-owned or the used price. And of course it'll have the updated prices, so you'll get it, you know, at the cheapest prices that it's going for. But yeah, for the money, you get a lot of quality out of this lens. I mean, I can't think of any other L series lens that's in this price range. So for most of us, myself included, this is our introduction into Canon's luxury line of lenses, and they got some great stuff in the 24-105 is no exception. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys. If you like this content, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe. If you haven't done so already, you'll be glad you did. I do believe that's all I got for you. Antoine out. Peace.